Hey guys, Renault here. Welcome back to UniONE career, this time for Formula 2 here at Italy, and Monza, the Temple of Speed. This track, well in Formula 1, always throws up some very mixed results because it is often the pace nullifier, with the lower drag cars being able to mix it with the usual front runners, but in Formula 2 all the cars are exactly the same. It's the spec series, so it is more about the driver, but again this track is one of the more simple ones, so any driver could really have a shot, especially with the amount of slipstream and DRSing you can do around the track as well, because basically it's just a straight line with like 2 corners in it. Then you've got a nice view then of Sean Galeo with his KFC chicken wing helmet. That has to be the best helmet I've ever seen. There's literally nothing. I mean, it's one of the more unique ones, I'll give it that much at least. But onto the start of then, well the formation line, everyone's getting away. That's where then it's Seti Camera who takes pole. And the crucial 4 points that then go with taking pole position. And it's his teammate then on the front row with him. Nicholas Latifi ahead then of Louis Delatrez in P3. Then Markov in 4th. With Giotto, the home favourite, P5 ahead of Nick De Vries. With Robert Schwartzman in 7th place. The leader of the Primers. With Jordan King 8th. Then Giuliano Alesi in P9 with Yuki Tsunoda running off the top 10. Then we got Boschong, Mazepin, Aitken, Joe. Ilott, Galeo, Caldron, Boccalacci some way down the order with Rangunathan and Sato on the back row of the grid. Of course, Alesi, although he's French, his dad, Jean Alesi, raced for Ferrari for many years, so imagine there's going to be quite a few Alesi fans there wanting him to do well, especially in the Trident as well, which is the other Italian team. And Jack Aitken here in P13, he's an outside championship hopeful. Very, very outside, but he's still in with a shot, but he's going to need to put in a lot of work. He wants to get out of 13th place and keep himself in the championship. And then for this race we're going to be following on board with Alesi and the Trident starting from P9, which I think is his highest starting position to date so far. And the everyone's going to be running as low a drag as possible. So pretty much the order they're in now is pretty much the cars are all the same, so they're going to be massive eventually later on. And then coming to the 5 red lights for the start of the Italian Grand Prix. Lights out and away we go. And it looks like the premium start from everyone. It looks like it's kind of got a good start. Actually, De Vries there with a blinding start along with Jordan King as well, going to go 4 wide further back. Then the port start though for Nicholas Latifi. So he's going to lose place there into turn 1. He's going to be side by side in the mid pack further back. You've got Alesi now going side by side there with, going side there a little bit with Nick De Vries, who wants to be backed out. I mean, you don't want to get involved there with especially like, oh my god, the pack of cars, man. This looks like the real life 2019 F1 qualifying. Just actually going a lot faster. With all this pack of cars here right up behind. And Alesi though, he's not going to want to get involved with that massive cluster of cars of literally the second half of the grid, all stuck right up behind him going side by side. That is not a fun sight. Well, it's a fun sight behind you, not in front of you. So Alesi though, P8, he made it a place off the start, so things look to be going well so far for Alesi. And then through the Lesmos, you need to get a good run here off that corner. You've got the run down the straight here, and it's like the guy in front got a little bit of a better run, but with the switching that they'll be getting, it's going to pretty much like nullify all that out. And going now into Ascari, which apparently is my favourite corners on the track. If you can get a good line like this, you can carry so much speed through as well. They're running off a little bit wider because the dirt, yeah, and I'm running minimum wings. That is not a fun combination. It's never a fun combination anyway. You get a whack of dirty ends, go straight off to the back of this track. The barriers are so close as well here, it's kind of like Monaco, except here's a lot more danger because you're going so much faster. But look at the front, I have to avoid De Vries, which puts Alesi way offline. He leaves out then to Jordan King, which is a bit of contact there as well with the Brit. That's how to kind of puts a fast lap of the Grand Prix, so King getting a bit, and Alesi getting the others out already. It's only now lap 2 of the race, so you've got Alesi trying to go in the outside line and show himself here on the racing line. Got that good straight line speed, it's running a little bit lower drag. He was definitely getting the speed back into the corner. And then through turn 1, going to keep his side, going to keep his nose there at the inside line, but King's going to try and hold it around the outside line. And then the Brit has the racing line and managed to make the move stick there on Alesi. And then Alesi though, he's still going to come back, he's not giving this one up without 5, actually instantly made contact through the end of Parabolica, the fastest corner on the track. And now into the second chicane. Is Jordan King heading in front? Can't quite tell from this camera angle. I think it still might be side possibly even, indeed it is. And he's going to force King out into the gravel, so yeah, definitely no love lost between these two so early in the Grand Prix. And then you got the side by side line actually behind with Yuki Tsunoda going side by side. And actually Dorian Boccalacci, he had a blinding start in his Grand Prix. He's only like 18th place. He's up here in about 11th or 12th, so a great start there for the Frenchman. And he's also ahead of his teammate Jack Aiken, so Boccolacci an absolutely very impressive start to the Grand Prix. I think anyway, it was impressive though, then a blinding start. But King and Lacey, they were still going out now into Ascari. This is going to end in tears at this rate with these two. I mean, there's so much passion between these two. You think these two are going for the championship with how much they're going at it on lap 2 of the Grand Prix. I'm only just about halfway through the season. Now into the parabolic, he has a little bit of a look, but there's nothing there he can do. Now he runs out a little bit once again. Actually gets a pretty good line there through the corner, but then he gets a waffled out. Yeah, runs out wide again. So they can't put the fast lap, which is then beat by Nicholas Latifi. And here comes Yuki Tsunoda in the Carlin. There's going to be a dragging her down into once again, and they're both going to be trying to get the solution there off Jordan King in front. We've got Boccolacci right up behind as well, so Frederick is still coming into play yet. Now on the run down into turn 1, going to be heavy braking. Let's try to around the outside line. Going to sweep there right around the outside line of the Japanese driver there, Yuki Tsunoda in the car. And of course, this is his their debut season for both of these in Formula 2. And in Formula 3, Yuki Tsunoda won this race. I think he won the sprint race here, so he's definitely got some pedigree on this circuit, so he's not going to give this up without a fight. And the Carlin, well, all the cars really seem to, on their day, any of the cars really seem to be competitive, although it is the Dams pair, along with Nick De Vries, who really are just setting the pace so far throughout the championship. But Yuki Tsunoda, they're still all over the gearbox then. With UniONE Lacey in front, as then through the Lesmos. The Carlin is sticking back to the corner, so I think Lazy may be running a little bit less drag than the cars around him, at least anyway. I mean, it is still the lowest head to run, but you still want to have a little bit of wing on the cars to actually get the cars to turn around the corner. And so with the DRS up the inside line into Ascari, Lacy can try to hurry around the outside line. We get the while there onto the curbing, and then that's to overtake position, otherwise that would be an illegal overtake because he's overtaking or maintaining position off the track, overtaking or failing to lose a place when doing battle. But Lacy there with that good straight line speed from his low drag centre, but he can try to make it back into parabolic. Yes, he is. He's got Dorian Boccolacci there right up behind him as well. He can go for a dive inside line. A nice move there from the Trident driver. Can he put it off there into Parabolica? Can actually stay on the track this time. He's going to run around the edge, which is the fastest way to get around the corner. And it looks like he's going to make it stick, but now he's going to be a DRS there for Yuki Tsunoda behind. And we've got a little bit of weaving there. I'm trying to break the toe. Going for that. He pulls the inside line and forces Tsunoda to go the long way out around the outside line. He's seen the outside and inside work both ways work for attacking and defending. And now is it still side by side? But there's three to line then for UniONE Lacey. He's going to try and pull his way out of the corner. Now they're going through Curva Grande, and it is the Frenchman who pulls himself back in front of the Japanese driver. Now got Dorian Boccolacci looking very, very interested now in the fight up behind. I'm sure now Tsunoda has to turn his attention to defending, which he is going to go take a defensive line there to Dorian Boccolacci into the corner. And through the second corner chicane, then everyone gets through it, but now Lacey is putting a little bit of a gap now into the Lesmos as well. Now this is going to be where Tsunoda manages to probably catch up a little bit. Now moving further on, back to looking up front, there's a few laps further on as well. We've still got Setikama leading. Actually now it's time for the pit stop, so he's going to be followed in there by Louis Delatraz through the top two. Bring the battle to the pit lane, and bring the battle to the pit crews as well. There's still Setikama leads from Delatraz on the track, and the top lot also close, because it's said with the DRS and slipstream. It is really hard to pull away if you're the car at the front, or the front of any battle pack really. It's going to be the medium tyres then, and it looks like a pretty slow start. There's other cars going past. I think Delatraz may have got the jump there on Setikama, which he has, and now then the Swiss driver now effectively leads the race, unless there was a massive overcut to be had. At which point then you've got Latifi, Markelov, Giotto, De Vries and that are all going for the extra lap. They all could possibly overcut these pair, especially with how much time they had to lose for all the other cars coming in. Looking to that battle now, so it is Latifi that now leads the Grand Prix effectively from Artem Markelov, the Russian, who won last time out back at Belgium, so he's on a bit of a hot streak right now, going against Elf. I mean, he's definitely not in the championship fight for this season, but still, if he can put in a good second half of the season, he still possibly could be in the shout of a Formula 1 drive in the near future. And we've got Giotto, the home favourite, going to be spurred on here by the home crowd, which are probably only watching his car, so you probably don't care about the other 19 that are on the track. But Latifi, they're really coming under pressure from Artem Markelov. The Russian really has come alive in the past few races. Last time when he got a lucky win, but it's still you have to be there to win the race in the position that you are. And then this fight goes to the pit lane as well. And damn, as they lost out last time, they're not going to want to lose out again. I don't know, because if you've got a pit lane further down, usually you don't get held up too much. I mean, it is going to depend where all these pit boxes are, which I think the pit boxes do just randomly get assigned here. And it's either the Arden team have the Red Bull pit boxes there for Verstappen and Alex Albon. So, I mean, in Formula 1, the pit boxes also still get randomly assigned, so it is just pot luck where you get. And the order of these two remains the same. And Giotto is dropped off the face of the earth, because he was right behind these two entering the pits, and now he's nowhere to be seen. So I don't know if maybe had a 5-second time penalty or something. Here goes the battle for the lead though. Stellatraz now takes the lead of the Grand Prix. It's going to be side by side. I'm going to do a bit of a lock up there and go side by side between the two Dams cars. Here you go, the camera cuts the corner there a little bit, very cheeky there from the Brazilian, and pulls in front and overtakes here. I think the stewards might want to have a look at that. He blatantly cut the corner there to get in front of his teammate, and we've got Markov still right up behind the back here of the Canadian. And he's the closest to try and make a move coming into the chicane. Both of these on cold tyres, but Markov clearly fired up in this Grand Prix. Latifi might be a bit flustered still from seeing his teammate cut a corner and cheat, honestly, to gain a place. Now they're back on board with us now. And Lacey, we're leading the Grand Prix, and we've decided to go for a massive overcut, even though Lacey and China just wanted a glory lap to lead the Grand Prix. I don't think Lacey, he definitely didn't win here. I don't know if he probably led a race for Ferrari. I mean, he had enough times here with Ferrari to probably lead a Grand Prix, so probably doing something that his father did or something that his father didn't, which is leading a Grand Prix here at the Temple of Speed. But the pace, you can see to the front was green, so the tyre wear, as ever, isn't really that bad, so maybe there is a massive overcut to begin, especially with all the other cars fighting then. There is definitely a method to the madness in this strategy. I can definitely see it. I can see the logic behind it. It also guarantees a clear pit lane here for the Trident pit crew, who for this race have the Haas garage. And that's like a pretty good pit stop, or at least for F2 standards, since it's one guy per tyre. And whether rejoin onto the track, and there's a few cars going past. So that's the leader battle there, going past the top 4, which is going to be nowhere near anyway. But it's where about Yuki Tsunoda and Jordan King are. Going out now onto the track. So actually Ryan Q here. Here we got Robert Schwartzman and Jordan King now trying to make a move into turn 1, and we start to them, and Lacey just comes out there in front of Yuki Tsunoda, so crucial move there for the Frenchman. And now, if he can keep Tsunoda at bay, he's going to have fresher tyres now, so the advantage swings back in favour of the Frenchman. Although we've got a massive battle going on here. Schwartzman, the now reigning Formula 3 champion, against Jordan King into the chicane, and it looks like Jordan King's come off their second best. Schwartzman there just able to hold himself in front. And these two, I mean, we haven't really seen much of Schwartzman. He had some good pace early on, but it looks like as the race has gone on, his pace has dropped off a little bit. I mean, he did score a podium back at Austria, which is rather lucky as well, given the pit lane mayhem that happened there. But you have to hold the position for the second half of the race, so still GG to that. Now King with the DRS. Is he close enough to the back of the Russian to try and make a move on? Coming up now into Ascari. He's thinking about it, but he thinks better of it though. And now then, there's a Lacey out of the pit lane, goes pedal through the same sector, and then overcooks it immediately. I think gets a bit too confident in his own ability, in this newfound grip as well. It looks like the car and his setup is definitely favouring these harder tyres, or at least for the half lap that he's been on them so far. And like Yuki Tsunoda looking right up behind the back here, the Frenchman is Parabolica. Everything stays where it is. No positions gained or lost, no overtakes attempted. And you're going to need a good run through here. Going to make a move down the pit straight, and that's going to be King with the DRS on the back of Robert Schwartzman. And he's not got Alessio Tsunoda's too far behind either. And with the DRS now, is King close enough to make a move this time? He's going to pull to the inside line of the Russian once again. Going to give him a squeeze and force his way back over towards the racing line. And he's going now a bit of a lock on there, a little bit of contact made there between the Russian and the Brit. And it's going to be King with the racing line, but Schwartzman had his car near enough alongside still. Out of the corner, it's going to be side by side still now around Curva Grande, reminiscent of what Alonso and Vettel did back here in 2011. But is there going to be any pushing onto the grass? And they go right to the outside line of the track, just a wheel there on the grass, just touched the grass there for Schwartzman. King getting very aggressive, and a bit of a lock on there as well from the Brit. And they used to a massive battle of pride going on between these two. And then you've got Lacey looking to try and make a move there on the Russian as well. Coming down, there's a contact! The contact, Lacey's into the wall, smash into the wall, and he's stopped down the ground trap, and oh, the camera cuts away. That's never a good sign. I hope Lacey's okay, but the camera to cut away like that, I mean, that didn't look like that bad of a crash, so I think Lacey should be okay, but clearly the FIA feeling the need to switch the camera there and switch it immediately, so don't really know what really happened there. Now we've got yellow flags coming out, and we've got no way De Vries. His engine failure, some kind of mechanical issue there for the Dutchman. His championship going up in smoke, like his engine probably. I mean, it could be the turbo, but something is definitely broke on that car. And those two incidents have brought out the safety car. And so it's still Seti Cameron that leads the Grand Prix, just about. So he's retook the lead somewhere, then from now Latifi, who's both got ahead of Delatraz. So don't know what's happened to the Swiss driver there, but he just got passed in the DRS train. And a few further back, we've got Jordan King here in the MP, who throughout all of that has managed to get himself in front of Robert Schwartzman. Then we have Yuki Tsunoda, who's going to be racing under a bit of a with a bit of a question mark over his head about where he's going to finish in the race if he gets penalised for that crash. I don't really know what happened there. I think it all just kind of like merged into one as the corner approached. So yeah, don't really know what happened there, if I'm honest, really. And we've got Boccolacci. He's quite some way down the order now, actually, so his pit stop didn't go too well. Then we have Tatiana Caldron, who I think is in the last one. That was Aiken in the Campos car. Then we have Sato, then Glare with his chicken helmet. Definitely the best helmet on the grid. And then we have Rangunathan currently bringing up the Red Bull with the safety car. Everything could change now onto the end of the safety car period. And there's only going to be now, at the end of this lap, there's only going to be 2 laps left to go. So you're not going to get a move on now if there's going to be any overtakes made. And it's going to be Seti Cameron leads back to green, because under the rules now you can't overtake before the start finish line. So of course, barring any issue. And has he got a good enough run here down the start straight? Looks like he has. He's bolted there from his teammate, but Latifi though with the solution is coming with him. And he got a bit of a fight going behind now. Seti Cameron has to go defensive into the corner, feeling the need to cover from his teammate Latifi. These two, gunning for the win. They've got quite a gap already over Markov, who managed to make the move on Louis Delatraz. So they've caught the Swiss driver napping. They've pulled a bit of a gap already. And we've got Gottenau looking to make a move there on the Swiss driver as well. And there's already Markov already pulling him there a little bit into the distance as well. And he got Delatraz getting very defensive there from Giotto into the chicane, but he just managed to hold off his position there from the Italian driver. He got now in what's going to be the battle then for P4. Once again, Delatraz going defensive there into the Lesmo, so maybe even not going to ties it up to temperature. Or something's definitely not going right with that Carlin car. Could possibly though be a car issue, because you see when he had dropped back from the lead, so maybe that actually is an issue with his car, or he's not fired his tyres up. It's one of the two, because Giotto is just going to steam straight past him, and I'm pretty sure it's a car issue now, because even though he does look to be down a straight line speed. Then we've got Jordan King going for a dive on the inside line there of the Swiss driver. It looks like he's going to try and make the move stick as well, which he does. I think it's just going from bad to worse then for Louis Delatraz in that car. Now then, we're going up now into the Parabolica, and we're still going to try and get around the outside line now then. We've got, is that Robert Schwartzman? It is indeed. The Russian trying to go around the outside line. He's sticking around that side of the Parabolica. A brilliant move from the Russian in, what is his, 6th Grand Prix in Formula 2. Showing why he won the F3 championship. And things now just going from bad to worse here. For his teammate now, Yuki Tsunoda, to try and make a move up the inside line of Delatraz into the corner. You've got Boccolacci around the outside line, bit of a lock up there from the Frenchman. Trying to stick it there around the outside line to the inside. 3 wide into turn 1 is never going to work. So somehow though, they actually managed to make it work. But no, it's still side here between the two Collins and Delatraz, even with an ailing car. You got to credit his fighting spirit, not giving up whatsoever. But especially this is the worst track to have a mechanical issue around, because it's just straight lines. There's nothing you can do in a straight line to defend from someone else coming past you. And now then he gets forced out of the way as well then by Nikita Mazepin. Now then we look back to the fight up front, and I think this is actually the penultimate lap of the race. I think there's one more to go after this. It's still Seti Cameron that leads the Grand Prix, and after this lap, DRS should be enabled again. Because it's 2 laps, so it's 2 laps from the start. We did 1 lap, so this is the 2nd lap, so yeah, at the end of this, DRS is going to be enabled, so Latifi, I think he's going to have 1 shot at trying to get past his teammate if he wants to take the lead of the Grand Prix, and Markov just sitting there in 3rd place, waiting for things to kick off in front of him, because we've already seen how aggressive these two are willing to get with each other. Because the team's championship for these two drivers' careers does not matter one bit. Because as soon as you get promoted into F1, no one cares what you did for the team. They only care about what you managed to achieve. So one of these two both go for the championship as well, so they're both going to take the win. And if both of them crash each other out, it's advantage Seti Cameron. Because De Vries is out of the race, these two will be out of the race, And Seti Camera got his 4 points for pole, so he's still going to be gaining. He's still going to be building his championship lead. So it's less of a bad situation if that happens. But Latifi, he honestly he needs to win this race if he's to keep himself anywhere near the championship fight. You see, everything's brilliant. He has finally woke up in this season. He was nowhere at the start, but he got a podium then back of Britain on the short track. It still was Seti Camera. The Grand Prix got about half a lap to go. Depends, has he managed to build the gap that he needs? He's over a second the gap. And it doesn't even matter because there's no way in half a lap Latifi is making up the time, because these cars they don't have rich or lean mix. You get a fixed amount of fuel and you get one engine setting, which is just go. And there might be a limp home mode, but you can't activate it. And you got the back straight now to go, and Latifi is really gaining now on the back of his teammate, but he's too far behind. He's had his chance at the restart, but Seti Camera just bolted and has managed to keep enough of a gap. Now then into Parabolica now then for the final time. And if all things go well through here, still running to the outside line because he can't afford to back up with his teammate so close behind. Now then coming up to the line, we Seti Camera to win the Italian Grand Prix and surely take another step closer to clinching the championship. With his teammate in second, so Dams 1-2. That's going to do him a while, and almost clinching the Italian championship as well. Now into turn 1. And I think there's a little bit of contact there because Latifi not happy with Seti Camera whatsoever because he cut the corner to make the move stick. So I think the shoes might want to have a look at that. So Latifi has got a genuine case. So Latifi could actually end up being the winner of this Grand Prix. Let's see what the final results are in a minute or so's time. But still, Seti Camera or Latifi have won the Grand Prix. It's still a damned probably 1-2 or 1-3 at worst. And Delatraz, I think that might be Rangunathan behind him now. So Delatraz is in like 16th or 17th place. So whatever happened went bad very quickly for the Swiss driver. But it's Dams though celebrating the victory because one of their drivers has won this race. And it's going to be Sergio Seti Camera. So Seti Camera, the Brazilian driver. The stewards see nothing on them with his driving, and he's able to keep the win. Although I'm sure we've not heard the last that yet though from Latifi, but as it stands, it's going to be Seti Camera to take the win. And Ralph Boschung in 9th place, so at least try and get some points at that home event. Although I'm sure they would have preferred Lacey to have finished since he was the higher up driver. Yes, Seti Camera, they're celebrating the win, so he's still got the win, so I'm pretty sure this result is now going to be final. We'll see on the end result again, it will be final. Latifi there clapping his teammate, although I'm pretty sure he's not happy about that whatsoever. Still, they're going to still spray the champagne on him because he can still cover him with champagne, because why not? So you're still both going to be up there anyway. And of course Markelov there in P3, so you can still benefit yet. Either way though, one of these drivers has won this race. Taking a look at the results, and Sergio Seti Camera is allowed to keep the win. To beat his teammate by half a second, who does take the 2 points for fastest lap, with Markelov running off the podium in third. And look at that, everyone else is all the position up, at least from where they started, because of Delatraz dropping like a stone. We got Giotto then in 4th, ahead of Jordan King in P5, so good result there for the MP driver, with Robert Schwartzman in P6, ahead then of Yuki Tsunoda. Boccolacci from 18th to 8th, a great drive there from the Frenchman, ahead of Ralph Boschung in the sole surviving Trident. Callum Milot finally getting his first points on the board, coming home in P10, with Guan Yu Zhou in 11th, with Jack Aitken running off the points in 12th. With 4 races to go, Seti Camera has quite the comfortable lead, 35 points over Nick De Vries, with Luca Giotto in 3rd, further 5 points off, with Nicholas Latifi with his 2nd place and fastest lap. In P4, but he's really getting himself in that fight for 2nd place, so for vice champion, because all these guys are vying here for a super license point, so he's still all to play for. You also include Jack Aitken and Markelov in that battle as well, and Schwartzman I think is just a little bit too far out to be counted in that. And then we've got Louis Delatraz in 8th place, who's still ahead of his teammate Yuki Tsunoda on, I'm guessing, on a better result. With Nikita Mazepin running off the top 10, with Dorian Boccolacci now up into 11th place. In the Campos, with the MP of Jordan King running off the top 12. Now moving on to the team standings, and there's no surprise, it's Dams that lead the way, and they've almost got as many points clear as ART have points at all, 84 points and 74 behind, with Campos still holding on to that third place, just about 2 points clear of Uni Virtuosi, and Arden now get themselves back up into 5th place ahead of Carlin by 4 points, and Kramer are getting themselves now into that fight for 5th place. In the fight for 8th, it's still MP that lead that on 18 points, joint with Trident, with Sauber still at the bottom on 14. Remember to leave a like if you enjoyed this video, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you're new, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads. So remember to give me a follow on Twitter and Instagram, that'd be much appreciated. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.